Let's talk about getting high quality content from outsourced writers that thrives and really gets traffic in 2024. Now, no secret, if you're at this video, you probably already know that over the last few years, the value of blog post content as a tool to capture traffic and drive business has really diminished. On one hand, we have seen Google really increase their standards for written blog post content. We've seen the helpful content update in multiple iterations of it, designed to serve users higher quality content. We've seen expertise, authority, and trust become a ranking factor. And at the same time that they're doing that, Google is also placing all kinds of other snippet style content above the organic content where your blog posts would go in the search results. So it's getting hit hard on that side. And then from a user perspective, well, simply put, users really are not reading and engaging with blog posts anymore, right? More so, users are preferring video content and social content, stuff like that. It has been a very difficult last few years for blog post content. I'll kind of inject in here that I remember 10 years ago when we could publish a mediocre blog and it would get ranked pretty well in the search engines, it would get traffic, and people would, use the comment feature on the blog and engage with it. That stuff really doesn't happen anymore. It's quite unfortunate, but that's just the way the world is. That said, blog post content I do still see as valuable. It can drive business, it can capture traffic, and most importantly, I think it can build topical relevance for your site, which overall helps other pages on the site, particularly pages that are sales oriented or product pages. So I'm not throwing in the towel on blogging just yet, but it's not as fruitful of a game as it once was. Anyhow, in this video, I'm going to share with you what I'm really looking for in writers now to get that high quality content that actually does well and people engage with. So let's just start by talking about the types of content that you can get and publish. And we'll start with, kind of the bare bones, maybe not bare bones, but bottom of the barrel content, and that is ChatGPT. And ChatGPT can generate content that is like technically correct and grammatically correct as well, but ultimately it is pretty much fluff at the end of the day. Like if anybody with a little bit of subject matter knowledge goes and reads a ChatGPT article, pretty quickly they can tell there's nothing in this for me. That is it. And that's just not something that's going to work anymore in the online business world. In the online business world, at the same time, as users are preferring video and Google is, ranking blog posts less and less, the world has become flooded with ChatGPT content. So when it's flooded with that, nothing stands out and everyone is overwhelmed with that. And that's probably why video has really excelled. Nonetheless, I think let's just kind of get back to the point here. ChatGPT is not going to get you anywhere sustainably long term. Moving up from ChatGPT content, you can get generalist content, generalist writer content that's written by you can get generalist writer content that's written by an educated and skilled writer. And, if you go through the right content writing service, like this one that I've got open on my screen here, they typically have a little bit of subject matter experience. And the content that you get back from them is okay, it's decent, it's better than the Chat GPT, but it's still nothing that somebody who's going to read and be like, wow, I'm going to make a mental note of that article in case I want to come back to it or I want to bookmark it. Something like that, so it's technically correct, has a little bit of subject matter expertise in it, so nobody is going to kind of bounce away from it real quickly, but at the same time, nobody's going to look at it and be like, damn, that's good. I really want to remember that. All right. And, I'm using a lot of blog.com. Here's an example. I have ordered thousands of dollars worth of content, and I can tell you that you will find no better content writing service than them. So if you want a lot of kind of general to slight subject matter expertise content at a good price, they charge about 6 cents per word, maybe a little less if you buy in bulk. This is a great option. But that said, I want content that is really memorable, something that people are going to make at least a mental bookmark of. And I think that is my goal for all written content. Okay, so moving up from here, you can hire writers that do have subject matter expertise. I use Fiverr a lot. I do use Upwork as well a lot. All right, and on Fiverr here, I just kind of put in finance writer and filtered to lives in United States, right? So you get a pretty good selection of finance writers that typically have some experience in the finance world. Okay, so they can put out pretty good quality content, and typically you're going to pay in this range of, say, 10 cents to 15 cents per word for these writers, and the content is pretty good. But it's not there yet. It's not where I want to go. I've been ordering a lot of content from these types of writers over the last few months for my accounting CPE business. But, when I read it, I still am just not like, damn, I want to make a mental note and come back and read this again. I'm not like, damn, this was good. And that's really what I want. So where do we go from here? Well, beyond this, what we need, and actually I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to cut myself off. The step beyond this is really getting a piece of content that someone is proud of. And that proud of person needs to be the writer. Okay? If the writer is an expert and they're proud of their content, it will be good. So going on from here, that is finding writers that will publish under their actual byline. Like they're going to put their name behind it and we're going to publish it saying, hey, written by this person, here's their bio, here's their headshot, here's a link to their profile on LinkedIn or whatever other platform it is. And if somebody is willing to do that, if a writer is willing to publish under their byline and they know it's going to be published under their byline, they're going to make a piece that they are proud of in case somebody is out there searching and finds their name, or somebody, maybe wants to hire them or something like that. So to really get that content that people are proud of, you've got to hire writers that are experts and will write under their byline. Now that's going to come at a price, and that's typically going to be in that 15 to 20 cents per word mark, right? So you're going to pay even more for it. But if you get experts that are truly regarded and their names are visible online, well, then you're also getting that expertise, authority, and trust, and that synergy with their personal brand that they may have built. Or some of them, not all of them may have that, but you're getting that back on your website as well. So you're getting the high quality content, you're getting that expertise, authority, and trust, and I think it's worth it. Now, with that, however, it's very important to point out that a lot of writers will not be open to that unless you have a good business or website that you're publishing on. I've personally asked some of these writers on here, and they said initially no, and then once I showed them my business, and my business is an accredited continuing professional education provider for accountants, so it's actually very good business, then they said yes, right, to being published on that site only. So you have to set up a good website and a good online business. You just can't have a run-of-the-mill content blog just publishing a bunch of garbage, okay? And maybe if you are at a starting point, the place to start is by writing the content yourself and being the expert and showing, the level of content that your business and site is associating with, and then using that as the display when you're offering to publish or asking these writers to write something that's going to be published under their byline. So yeah, that's about all I've got on this topic. The big thing to take away is, yes, I do still believe blog post content is valuable. It captures traffic, captures topical relevance, or builds topical relevance for your site. But B, if you're going to do it, you've got to publish content that someone is going to be proud of. And if it's not going to be you in there heavily editing the content, it's got to start with the writer. All right, I don't really like editing content I order, just kind of a side note. It's like if I order it, I just want it to be good and done, and I'd rather pay the premium for it. But yeah, publishing content that somebody is proud of, namely the writer, and that is done, in my experience, by getting them to publish under their byline. That is really a crucial key to outsourcing written content in 2024 and going forward, content that will stand the test of time going forward. On that note, guys, I hope you found this video helpful and insightful. If you did, you know the drill. Smash that like button to help me out in the YouTube algorithm. I am calling it a wrap and signing off on that note.